kind of go the other way. The reality of it is the consumer-facing corporate AI will be regulated at some level. You can't control state-sponsored stuff. You're not going to be able to control other countries. People are going to be able to access this information. People are going to be able to access these tools. It's going to be about it's there's not a ton. I don't know other than states against states against states. These are just the same things that we've been doing, previously, different organizations, but now it's going to be at a higher AI level. And ultimately, the only regulations are going to be against the consumer, and it's a good thing, right? At the end of the day, but you won't see. I mean, you see different regulations in different countries. You see people VPing into those different countries to use those different regulations. So unless whole infrastructures change around these regulations, and we can't even pass a bill to get health care. So I don't really see, I honestly, I just don't see this as being something that's going to be other than consumer-facing, interior in the United States or in particular countries, Norway, people who are, really adamant about, personal privacy and, things like that. But the reality of it is that, these things are going to be out there and truly hard to regulate. And the only way you can do it is have the kind of the people build, like you're saying, build the tools to allow you to say, this isn't right, this isn't real, this is fake. The platforms that you see these things on, incorporating these things and us pushing either our, center into things that we can control from a government regulatory perspective that, that these have to be put into these platforms. If you're showing video, it has to be run through an algorithm. It has to be marked. And they try to do these things now, but they're still fighting it. Even internally in the U.S., they're still fighting. We see deep fakes all over Facebook, constantly. So I don't know the answer about the regulation because ultimately it is the Wild West. But all you can do is do your own due diligence, and if something's ridiculous, it's probably ridiculous, and that's usually the way I go with most of it. But it's gonna be, and like I said, this is a disruptive technology, one of the biggest disruptive technologies in quite some time, and with that comes a lot of transition and change, and with all the good, there's gonna be bad, and and you can only do is what you can do, right? You know what I mean, as a person.